Josh, you had an interesting post this week about Donald Trump supporters and they all share one trait. What trait is that?
Well, it makes sense, if on the surface, it's that they all love an authoritarian kind of leader. Now, most political polls don't check for this, but this one guy, Matthew McAllister, he did a poll where he asked the respondents a series of questions about child rearing. And based upon those answers, like if they want the child to be obedient, respectful, follow the children should follow the rules as they're told, not question things. It reveals that you like authoritarian leadership. And, naturally this is just one poll, but if this continues to be the case, it suggests that his support isn't even capped yet, because there are, more than half of moderates respond to authoritarianism, around 17% of Democrats that responded to the survey respond to authoritarianism. So that means that in a general, he could, using his talent that no other politician has, which is to completely absolve himself of what he said 10 seconds ago without apologizing or seeming like a fraud, could pull in those people on more moderate positions if he gets the nomination. In a sense, or just to sum it up, Trump is way scarier than any of us thought.
Well, Eric, you write for presidential polls, our little sister site. What do you think? There have been polls that say that as many as 20% of Democrats would convert to vote for Trump. Do you think that there's any realistic chance of that happening?
It depends how serious he gets and if he can show us that he is a legitimate politician. He has to get past the one-liners and the stupidity, and I don't know if that's possible for him. But if it is, I do think that you would see some Democrats jump over to Trump if Clinton becomes the nominee for them, because a lot of Americans just don't want Clinton in. They're fed up with everything she represents. She's a do-nothing politician. She's extremely fake and genuine. Now, if Bernie Sanders were to be the nominee, I think then you would see very little jump over to Trump unless they're still scared of that false socialist.
I got to challenge that, Eric, because there are moderate Democrats who are scared to death of Bernie Sanders.
Yes, but it's because he hasn't been.
And older moderates that's Trump's fucking wheelhouse.
Yes, but it's because Bernie Sanders hasn't been made palatable to the public yet. Once he's the sole focus of a campaign, then we'll start to really see the real Sanders. Right now, he's got to kind of throw out the extreme left-wing things like free education, free healthcare, just to get the nomination. And that's a problem with the American political system. It's the way we... No, but it really is, because you spend so much money just choosing a nominee, then to go into another general election against the opposite party. It's just a lot of wasted time, and frankly, we should just...
I can't disagree.
The thing about moderates crossing over, an awful lot of strange things happen when people get alone in those voting booths. And one of the motivations that is so effective is fear. We remember Ronald Reagan beating Jimmy Carter back in, 1980, 1982, basically by sparking... 81, yes, sorry. Basically by scaring everyone. The Russians are coming and this and that, and the economies are, and people got scared, and Carter lost quite badly. The thing is that both, assuming it's Trump versus Clinton, both of them have a big fear card to play. Hillary is already experimenting with a meme, which is basically vote for me so you don't get Trump. And obviously Trump has been evilly brilliant about exploiting America's fears of terrorism and a weak president in the White House. So how those fear votes play out, I think, will speak a lot to moderates and undecided people which way they're going to go.
Peter, let's not forget, appealing to the fear vote, that's Hillary's wheelhouse, man. You remember the 3 a.m. phone call ad back from 2008? There was like a devastating, it was like an snap moment, because, it was basically as much of a daisy ad as, the nuclear ad that you'd get with a Democrat candidate. Yeah, but she could play that game, so.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
I think they're both going to be playing those cards. We'll see who does it. But, the thing that's in Trump's favor would be, God help us, another terrorist action, even something on a scale like San Bernardino, which is, with all respect, 14 people. I mean, it's like 20 minutes of random gunfire in America. But that plays to Trump. World events can play to Trump. Anything that makes the United States look weak in the minds of conservatives plays to Trump. I think he has a lot more fear cards that he can play on. Plus, he is, I'm not trying to make a pun, I mean, he's fearless about doing it. Hillary is always parsing her words and thinking them through and leaving a little wiggle room. Trump will come out right out and say, if you elect Hillary, the Iranians are gonna kick our butts, and he'll have no shame or hesitation to do that.
That's what I was going to say, was that Trump is not afraid to say outrageous things, whereas Clinton is very careful. And if it is head-to-head between those two, then if Trump can cater to that vote, he will, whereas Clinton won't, which is scary.